Welcome back, everyone, to Very Good Video Game Music, where I talk about video game music I think is very good. And boy, do I have something special for you today. At least if you're a Jordan Underneath fan, which makes up most of my subscriber base, so you're definitely not going to want to miss this one. And for those of you who don't know, this is actually episode 3 of Very Good Video Game Music. You can find the first 2 episodes on my Jordan Underneath fan channel. I'll have a playlist where you can watch them all. And you read the title right, folks. I'm going to be talking about Off today. And if you've seen my other 2 VGVGM episodes, you know that not only will I be talking about the music, but you get a little mini review as a bonus, so let's begin. Off, by Mortis Ghost, is an RPG Maker game made in 2008. Damn, this game is fucking old. That takes heavy inspiration from the Mother series, otherwise known as Earthbound. In this game, you play as a man simply known as the Batter, who's dressed like a baseball player and carries a baseball bat, as you explore a world called the Nothingness, with multiple levels, starting with level 0, which acts as this game's tutorial area. And this is also where you meet one of the major recurring characters, a talking cat called the Judge, who gives off major Cheshire Cat vibes. I wonder if that was intentional. Gameplay-wise, it's a pretty typical turn-based RPG, so if you've ever played any other game like that, you'd know what to expect here. Where this game stands out is in its unique world, story, characters, and atmosphere. That's not to say the gameplay is completely derivative, or it isn't fun or anything, I just don't really feel like there's much to talk about in that regard. This game is still very enjoyable though, and has a captivating world and atmosphere. It also has this weird, quirky charm that I absolutely adore in games like this, and if you enjoy games like Earthbound and Undertale, this game will be right up your alley. I suppose I should go over the story as well, but there's a shit ton of background lore behind this game, and if I was to go over it all, this video would take longer than childbirth, so allow me to summarize it in as few words as possible. So to go over the cookie-cutter wiki page bare essentials, basically your main character, the aforementioned Batter, is on a sacred mission to purify the world by ridding it of monsters and bad people. There's of course way more to it than that, but that would be getting into spoiler territory, so I'm not going to go over that here. What I will say, and this might be getting into light spoiler territory, is that the story is tied to morality and the consequences of one's actions. And the story gets much darker as the game goes on, and ultimately leads to a decision that decides the fate of the entire world. So yeah, pretty heavy stuff. Now on to the main event, the battle music. And it is bumping. This game's battle theme goes for somewhat of an electro swing vibe, and is called Pepper Steak. And why is it called Pepper Steak, you may ask? I don't know. Why is anything called anything? Why is the sky blue? Why is grass green? Why do we exist? What is life? Okay, that was a lie. I actually do know. Basically, the song uses samples from a song from 1931 called Pepper Steak by the Washboard Rhythm Kings, which technically makes it a remix. And that's all I have to say about that song, but we're not done yet, because as you may know, Pepper Steak isn't the only main battle theme in Off. See, in 2025, Off ended up getting a re-release on Steam and Switch, and for whatever reason, the game's original composer, alias Conrad Coldwood, didn't want his music being used again. So instead, for the re-release, they got several new composers, including Toby Fox, which is pretty fitting considering Off was one of Toby's main inspirations for Undertale. And let me tell you, I am a huge fan of Toby Fox's music. I could honestly do an entire VGM just on Toby Fox's music. It's that good. And he's the one who wrote the new battle themes. And yes, you heard that right, battle themes. Well, technically. It's actually more like one battle theme that changes as the game goes on, fitting the game's ever-changing atmosphere. My favorite version being White Rot, which sounds the most like the game's original battle theme. My man just can't help himself. He makes nothing but 100% certified bops, even for games that don't deserve it. White Rot is actually the second version of the song. The first version is called White Meat and isn't quite as upbeat. That rhymed. And then we have the last version, White Carcass, which would be a great name for a metal band, by the way. And that is the darkest of the three songs. You know, Toby Fox's ability to create an unsettling atmosphere simply by taking a song and slowing it down will never cease to amaze me. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all the time we have for today. If it's your birthday while you're watching this, happy frickin' birthday to you, and remember to stay beautiful. That's a completely original outro, I swear. Don't look it up. Anyway, see you in 3 years when I decide to make another one of these. Peace out. I'm gonna go play Deltarune Chapter 5 now.